Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Chantele. And we're here to talk about episode 7 of Celebrity Big Brother. We had a live eviction. Woo.
We did. We had a live eviction tonight. We had a 2-hour episode, but a lot of it was canned and a lot of it we knew veto information. But we do get to get a little bit more from Chris Kattan. And also, just for the record, you guys, we do have the feeds up. We are keeping an eye on the HOH comp, so we will talk through it as we go. That was a lot, and I forgot to say, but first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Yay! Yes, feeds are here. They're very brightly colored now.
The makeup artist went awry.
Yes, probably. But let's start at the top of this episode, Chantele.
Yes,
where we're doing the fallout of the noms. Carson would like to know why Misha is so obsessed with him.
I would like to know as well, because she's a really strong competitor. She's used to going up against someone in that octagon cage that she's very comfortable in. She's is a very strong, capable woman. Why is she scared of little old Carson? Like he's just so delightful, and like I don't think of him as a threat. Like, yes, socially, I get it. He's a social threat. But chances are you're going to win the competitions to get you further down the line. So the fact that they're so obsessed with him, I'm just like, get a new target.
They are obsessed. Flashbacks to Janelle in the house. So obsessed. Look, Todrick is the one who tells her, and she seems to believe everything that Todrick says. And he really piled on that Carson is the one who's going to win this whole game.
I mean, he will, but not just him. Most people will win sitting next to either Misha or Todrick. They kind of both have to sit beside each other in order for them to have a shot at winning, I would think. Uh-oh, don't scare me.
Okay.
I know one person I saw in the chat.
Yes, Cynthia is down.
Oh.
But someone else just fell. Who was on the other side of Todd?
Someone said Lamar fell.
Okay, that makes sense. Lamar was on the other side of Todd. Okay. Yeah, Cynthia and Lamar
spoilers,
are the ones. Okay. Yes, Cynthia and Lamar are the two out at this point. Okay, back to the show. Cynthia and Todrick are going to have a little bit of talk. She's kind of confused on why Todrick wouldn't give her a heads up. She's not fully believing that Todrick is not on the other side. Like, Cynthia still says things like, he'd come back to us.
Yes. She plays a game that people that don't know the game want to play. And it's all kind of about loyalty and about my word. And I'm definitely a person that agrees with that and tries to abide by that as much as I can. But I understand how she thinks that people are going to be giving their word like she's giving her word. I'm not going to vote for somebody out because I said I wasn't going to vote for somebody out. And I don't think she really realizes that not everybody is playing the game the same way that she is. And I hope it doesn't bite her in the butt. But I like this. I like her being in the house and being like, listen, this is my word. If you want to vote me out, you want to vote me out. Like, I actually like her having her conviction in this way because, you can trust her. And I like working with people that I know I can trust. So I'm enjoying her gameplay.
That's true. It's not bad to have one person in the house who's like, my word is my word. And you at least know that. But Todrick's like, what are you talking about? This isn't my HOH. What? No, I totally want to work with you. Sure.
It's so frustrating on the audience end to be like, don't listen to him, Synthia. He's coming for you from the back door, but like, he's coming for you. And he's like, it's not him.
He's all like, I mean, I can't put these people up, but these are the people you got to put up. So then he talks to Misha and, he's already working on the next target. He's like, but Chris Kirkpatrick, oh, geez. And she's like, yeah, you're right. After Carson, it's Chris.
I mean, he's right there, and that's like I think that's the best read that Todrick's had that I've noticed in this game so far is like, oh, Chris is somebody that needs to go. But I think it's because Chris really likes Misha, and I think Todrick wants the Misha attention to himself. And so I don't even think it's like good gameplay. I think he's just taking away threats that might interfere with his like final two with Misha.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's got good reads. Like, I don't know why he broke up his first alliance, but
bad read.
Carson, yeah, that's bad gameplay, but Carson is a threat to beat him in the end. So I mean, these are all decent targets he's lining up for other people. Yeah, for those who are arriving late, we are keeping an eye on the wall comp that's happening. They're getting splattered with colorful stuff. But we have no winner yet, so stand by for that. Carson, Cynthia, and Shayna are going to talk. They're strategizing about how they could use this veto, and this is when Carson's like, what if I win it and use it on Synthia? And they're like,
no,
hold up, not so much. But Shayna is like, honestly, I could get backdoored, so why don't I try to win the veto and save one of you guys safe all around?
What I think is really interesting is the fact that Shayna flipped in the beginning, in the first week, when she really didn't have to, and then she's already back on this side where like fighting with kind of the underdogs, and it's just interesting that she just flipped back over to want to be working with them and not sticking with Misha and Todrick, which I would think would be a better position for her to be in, at least for this round. You know what I mean? So I just thought it was a little bit premature.
I didn't think she flipped at all. I think she played some self-preservation, being that she was on the other side. She had this other alliance and she just wanted to make sure she was, you know, cuddling up to the right people. I just felt like it was that, but that she was still really on that other side.
Okay, because I was always thinking whenever Carson was saying like, oh, the three amigas, I'm like, Shayna's not really with you. That's how I was feeling. But if you're saying that she never really left, but she was kind of being a little bit more of a double agent, okay,
yeah,
I can see that a bit.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Shayna and Chris, I all my notes say in sync, but we can just call him Chris now. How can they fight back? Chris is like, I might be in danger, but it's worth it. We gotta come up with a plan.
I think that he is having regret for flopping last like opportunity where he could have made a fake move. And the whole time Shayna was like, Misha. And he's like, no, Todrick. And she's like, okay, Todrick could work. And then he didn't do either. And so he kind of already put that into motion. And so he wasn't going to be in that same kind of pocket with those two. And so I think that he was like, oh, we got to do something now, though, because like, I don't want them to come after me and take me out. So I'd rather kind of fall on my sword a little bit here, kind of be the author of my own fate in a way. I think that's why he kind of had a change of heart here.
Yeah, he really did miss an opportunity. And maybe it's like itching at him inside, but also he knows like, whoops, you know, when you almost do an opportunity, people kind of know and they see it in you. And then you're like, just kidding. We're all still living together, right? So yeah, he's in a bit of an awkward place here. But now we're going to get kind of a sad moment with the Chris Kattan leaving.
It was so sad, and the music that was playing, and I'm like, wow. And like up until this point, we hadn't seen any exit interviews or goodbye messages. And he got like this long goodbye message where he actually went through each and every person and had like their own special message. And I'm just like, wow, sweet dear Chris Kattan. All they could have had to do was evict him when he wanted to, and it would, you know what I mean? He would have had like the story that he wanted. But he left on his own accord.
I think it's just fine that he left on his own accord. It bothers me when people want to leave and then that gets in the way of game.
True.
But I understand he wanted to leave. And if it is not a healthy place for him, you know, I'm glad he left. I'm glad he did whatever he had to do to make it happen, because I know it's difficult. He had to call his lawyer, I'm sure.
Probably.
But he didn't seem well. He didn't seem like this was a fit for him. And honestly, I didn't like laughing at him falling. Like, it just didn't feel right.
I know. No, I felt like he was getting hurt, and I was like, no, I don't want him to fall in the dark. Like, what if he hurts himself really badly?
Yeah.
But I actually think he didn't think he was going to live past the first week. Like, I thought he probably thought he was going to be gone. Because remember his first reaction with the number, he's like, what? Like, I think he literally thought he'd only be there 1 week. And he's just kind of like, what do I have to do to get out of this house, guys?
Like, you guys see, I'm not playing the game, right? Like,
I don't want to be here. I want Mariah to stay. Like, I just like, I don't want to be here. Get me out. So I think he probably had in his contract maybe like a 1 week thing, and he lasted longer than he was anticipating lasting. And so, yeah, he was probably like, bye.
Yeah, so he, like you said, he does get to say nice things about everybody, and kind of tugged on my heartstrings. But
get a tear,
Chris Kattan. No, let's not get crazy.
I didn't get any tears.
The house guest barely had tears. Cynthia was like dab, but like I don't think there was actually a tear there. They were like, "We got you, Chris. You wanted to go, okay." Wishing you all the best, Chris Kattan, for sure. So let's pull some veto players here. Misha is going to pull out Shayna's. Cynthia is going to get house guest choice. She's going to choose the athlete, Lamar. Carson's going to pull Todrick's. And this is going to set us up for this veto.
And this veto, they love making these celebrities look very silly. I definitely enjoyed it. We've seen vetoes similar to this. I believe that there was one where they were doing this on like a banana, where they had to like rock on a banana.
Oh my God, yes. Do you remember that?
Yes. So wait, what was that from though? I remember it was momentous.
It was the cowboy guy. Whatever. I don't remember his names. I don't remember names. I don't remember seasons.
Jackson? No,
it wasn't Jackson.
Was it that season?
No.
Okay.
Maybe the season before that? Oh, I'm so bad.
Mind.
But these comps where they have to like ride something fast, like makes me blush. It's like, oh my God. Can I watch this? Oh no.
It was a little bit awkward, especially when people were really serious. Their faces is like when they're so serious about it. I'm like, I shouldn't be watching this.
No, it feels uncomfortable. Like it's a private thing that maybe we shouldn't watch. But they're like so in the game, which I love, which is why it's so funny, is they have no idea how ridiculous they look. But they have to do that on the reindeer to set their time, then go stack something. We've seen this comp before. Mm-hmm. The snowflakes and stuff look really hard to stack.
It's true. Really like the shapes didn't fit that easily within each other.
Oh my God.
So like,
yes, thank you. It was Enzo. Not the cowboy. Was that just last season then? Or like the one before? It was All Stars.
It was literally All Stars. Oh, you were right then. Oh, no. You said the one before, but anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
It was Enzo.
Oh my gosh. So Carson looks ridiculous. Lamar looks ridiculous. So many people just look ridiculous. But Carson's stack is going to fall first, we see. And then Lamar, who just can't seem to quite get any of these comps, is going to just realize that the time stopped.
And he mentions like he's used to the shot clock. So like you'd think that there would be a little bit of a hustle in his game, but I definitely don't think that Lamar wanted to win this one at all, even though Synthia picked him to play. Like he doesn't know the rules of the game enough to know that like, hey, like you might want to try to win this for Synthia. Yeah, poor Lamar.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even talk about that whole conversation. I think he did want to win because he was like, so I win veto, I get to evict somebody? Like, no, but you can take someone off. And he was like, and then they go home and he's like, and then we replace. Like, I was like, this isn't the first veto. This isn't the first week, Lamar.
I mean,
No?
I wonder if he was explained to how this game goes before he signed on the dotted line. Because I also learned this week, or within the last couple of days anyways, that he didn't know that his diary rooms are going to be broadcasted. And so I'm like, well, why are you, you know that there's always confessionals in any reality TV show. Like,
He thought it was a diary, as in private counseling, like therapy almost. You guys, and then like last week, he just learned that the losers vote for the winner in the end. Like, he had no idea. I know he doesn't listen when, like, the house guests have talked about, like, he goofs off when instructions are happening. So pre-Big Brother, his agent was like, "You gonna do the show?" And he, like, didn't listen.
He's like, "Oh, Chloe's gonna be there? Okay, yeah."
Yeah, he's like, "Great, I want to see Chloe. Let's go." And didn't know what he signed up for. But I love that, like, he's trying to play the game now. He does not know the rules of the game. He's, like, slowly trying to figure it out. Todrick's like, "I don't know he's voting for at this point."
I think the reason why he's probably getting into the game a little bit more, that he's making it a little bit far. He realizes that, like, his vote matters and people come to him with information. Like, I think he's realized, like, oh, wait, maybe I could win. Yeah. Like, he's starting to get like a little bit of the competitive energy into him. Before he just didn't know what was going on. And now he's slowly learning how it's working, and he's not been in any danger. So yeah, I think he's gotten the bug. He got bitten by the competitive bug for Big Brother.
Right? Yeah, he's going to try somehow. But not right yet, because he's going to time out. And then Misha just gets in the zone and she times out and she misses it as well. By the way, those 4 house guests are still hanging on the wall, you guys. Then Synthia, my queen of very little effort, is going to ring in with her 9 snowflakes.
I mean, you know what? She rang in with something. She didn't time out. And she didn't, like, at the end go at 0 because, like, she rang in with something. And some people, maybe other people, should have done the same thing because they had higher stacks than that. And if they had buzzed in instead of trying to make it higher, they might have been able to win.
That is fair. That is fair. But then Shayna is going to be like, well, cool, I'll ring in with 22.
Sorry, I'll beat your 9.
Yeah, I'm going to meet your 9 and raise you by a whole bunch more. So then Misha's going to take that moment off to the side and just be like, hey, you might win this. So, you know, like, if you wanted, like, you could take Cynthia down, like, if you wanted.
So what is she... It's just so confusing to me, Misha's strategy here with that combo, right? Like,
yeah.
Why are you giving, like, is it to make it look like you guys are working together? And like, well, if you wanted to use it, you can, to make her feel like she has some autonomy here. Because I'm like, she's going to do whatever she wants with it, and especially since you're not working together for this vote anyways, on what the plan is. So it just seems a little bit obvious that
it's a little weird, because it's like Misha and Shayna are like pretending they're working together at this point, but they're not really working together. And so she's like giving her the permission, but pushing one name and one name only, because she's trying to make it very clear that Carson is her target.
She should have said nobody, and then it would have been a little bit more normal.
No, you should have just said nothing and don't even bring it up. Yeah. Make Shayna come to you, or whoever wins the veto, make them come to you, make them work it, make them try to like have to come up with a deal or something. Like, don't give permission. But then Carson's stack is going to drop. He's almost had a nice big stack. It falls. And then he times out. Just a hot mess. And then Todrick's like, whoops, I timed out as well.
So do you think that Todrick didn't want to win in the end? Like, he's like, whoops.
Right. It was like, I just have to wait for Carson. Was out.
Yeah.
Probably. Even though in the DR he was like, but yeah, he was just waiting for Carson, right? At that point, he thought, sure, let Shayna win. Now we're gonna have a little group conversation in the kitchen, public space here, where Todd's like, just put me up. Misha, I'm all yours. I'm a number for you. If you need to put me up as a renom, feel free. And this is when Chris Kirkpatrick gets the wheels a spinning. He's like, yeah. let me go get this plan going. Let me get to Shayna.
What's interesting about this plan is Misha wasn't in on it. Like they are deciding what they think that Misha might do because of they heard, that Todd would be willing to go up as a pawn. But like they never really heard from Misha if that's what she would be intending on doing. It was just so bizarre that they really ran with this idea. Oh yeah, Todd's gonna be the replacement almost for sure. Like, let's go through with this plan. When Kirkpatrick, you're a big option, and you haven't really been ironing out everything between you, Misha, and Todrick from the fact that you're nearly backdoored him the week before or cycle before. So it was very interesting that he was going to go so strong with this plan when I didn't think that there was a chance that Todd was going to be going up.
Right. Because the feeds came back and I didn't see this group conversation. I think it wasn't on the feeds. If it was, I missed it. So I just see the feeds come back and Chris and Shayna are like, and she'll put up Todd. We'll pull Carson down and she'll put up Todd. And I'm thinking, why would she put up Todd? She's obviously not going to put up Todd, especially if you take Carson down when she has specifically said Carson is my target. So I guess they just got super excited because they overheard Todd volunteer. But this was risky. But again, I think it was they felt like they didn't do it last week and they just had to do something this week.
I wonder if Shayna slightly was annoyed by the fact that Kirkpatrick backed down with that plan. And maybe she's like, well, let's let him walk into his demise here. Because Carson is more loyal for sure. He's always going to be a target. She doesn't have to worry about him maybe flipping back over to Misha. Carson will stick to his guns. If he says he's going to do something, he's going to do something. And we just found out that Kirkpatrick may not. He's not willing to lie. So maybe she's like, I think he might be a liability at this point. So if he wants to kind of backdoor himself, maybe I'll just have to let this happen.
I don't know. I mean, she shouldn't have wanted to lose him. He was a good ally for her, I think. Let's do a feed check. No one else has fallen. It's still just Synthia and Lamar have fallen, and obviously Misha's not playing. So that leads Todrick, Shayna, Carson, and Todd still on the wall. You guys, just that update. They are just going to go full swing with this plan. They're going to tell Carson. Carson's like, yay, plan to save me. Okay, great. Sign me up. Then NSYNC is going to Chris. I can call him Chris now. NSYNC is just going to ruin his whole game here with this conversation with Misha. Dude, future house guests.
Don't do this ever.
Do not go in there saying you're never going to lie to someone's face. But instead look real shady while you hem and haw and not tell someone what they're asking.
I don't know how he'd be able to get around doing this, like without lying, but like what he did was terrible. Like, well, he could have said that. He could have agreed to it because it wasn't even going to be an option, right? He knew that Shayna wasn't going to be taking down Synthia. So the scenario, like, will you vote out Carson? He could say yes because it wasn't even going to be a scenario. So the fact that it's a hypothetical situation that he's not going to allow himself to hypothetically be lying about was a little bit like, right. Just lie. You're not lying. It's not going to happen. It's not even happening. Yeah. It's not a real scenario.
In this moment, say yes, voting out Carson because Carson's not going to be on the block. He's not going to be an option. So just say it right now. I do believe I saw him on the feed say, yeah, if Carson were on the block, like I remember him trying to say it like that. And I was like, oh my God, you're being so obvious right now. It was just, God, like him just being like, I got you. And she's like, will you vote out? Like, I got you. She's like, you are not answering my question. And it's so obvious.
Like he could have even said, I'll vote how you want. Right? Or something where like he's not actually admitting to anything. And in the end, he would be voting how if he's not on the block, he will be able to vote. So I don't know. He could have figured out a way to lie.
I feel like there were a few things he could have done to save his butt, but here we are. It came back to bite him. So, oh well. Misha and Shayna are going to talk. Misha's like, she's really just freaked out because she's not getting straight answers. She doesn't know what's going to happen. And I was like, Misha, girl, let Shayna wake up. Why Shayna got to look like this for this conversation? Misha's in full makeup and Shayna's like, what? Oh, okay. Let's talk. Okay. Yeah.
Going upstairs. Like, we already know that Shayna has trouble with the stairs.
Oh my God. I really was like, if she falls one more time. Every time she goes to the stairs, I'm like, ah. I did find it interesting that Misha was like, you're not taking Carson down, right? And now Shayna does the right thing. And she's like, not at the moment.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Right now.
That's what you do, Chris. That's what you do right there. You say what you got to say.
Just say what you got to say. Nothing. There's no lies in Big Brother, really.
Yeah. Later, just be like, sorry about that. I'm coming for you.
Sorry,
Like,
I changed my mind.
Yeah. Guess what? I wanted to keep Carson. Oh, well. Whatever. So the veto ceremony is going to give us Shayna taking Carson down, which was not part of Misha's plan.
There was not a blink in that room. Like, they're just all like, and Carson's like, oh, new piece of jewelry.
Oh, me, thank you for the jewelry. Oh. Yeah. Alrighty. And then Misha's like, this is hard, but I'm going to actually put up Chris Kirkpatrick.
We knew it was coming. It like, even if I didn't watch the feeds, from seeing that conversation, that would never make me,
Yeah, like hair, like extensions.
Oh, I thought you were somebody fell and that you didn't like right now.
No, they're just like so gross now. Like they've got sticky stuff and now they've got like extensions on them or like cut up wigs. Ew. Sorry.
I was like, oh, like, is that bad? I don't remember what I was saying though.
That was probably priceless. It was so good.
I know it was.
It was so good. But all right, Chris Kirkpatrick. This was the right choice, honestly, Misha. Like, I feel bad for Chris, but like, that's what you got to do. If someone's coming for your target.
Well, like, I'm not rooting for you, Chris, if you're not going to do what you need to do. That's twice now, right? 2 moments where you had an opportunity just to do something to save yourself, save your game, follow through with something. Like, what about that lie of like, oh, we're going to make a big move and going around and telling everybody that you're going to do this big thing and wait till you see what I'm going to do. And then completely bomb on the competition and then tell your ally not to use the veto. Like, that was terrible. And then this is terrible. I'm like, thank you for being here for a couple of weeks, Chris Kirkpatrick, but we'll say it. Bye. Bye. I
want to go on record and say it's not terrible. Like, no, it's not great gameplay, but boy, do I appreciate it. Because I feel like this Shayna Chris move is like Janelle and Howie. I feel like they just don't care what the HOH wants, and they're gonna mess with it. And so, yeah, it's gonna backfire. At least one of y'all's going home, like we're seeing tonight. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate it at that level.
I agree. And actually, Janelle tweeted that this was like the first time in like 5 years where someone uses the veto against the wishes of the head of household. I'm like,
seriously,
I do like that. I agree.
Yes. Like, I am done caring about what the HOH wants. So I appreciate, even if this isn't the most perfect move for all involved. So Misha is going to Shayna and Misha are going to try to kind of talk a little bit. Shayna does a decent job of explaining, like, look, you have so many numbers. I just have to keep some numbers. And Misha's like, girl, you drew a line in the sand. Like, this is it.
That was pretty threatening, though. Just like, yeah, like afterwards when you hear her confessional being like, oh yeah, like we're in the octagon now and we just opened up the cage, and I'm just like, okay, like, relax. She just decided to use the veto on somebody. Like, it's not that serious.
Well, I mean, the line I felt like had already been drawn. Like, I don't
Yeah.
really think it was Shayna. So,
So
okay.
I would have been it would have been intense though. Like I feel like even Shayna was rattled by that conversation after, where
Yeah.
she's like, "You didn't hear
Yeah,
what
she
I just
was.
had to go through." And like I think she
Right.
was like close to crying. It seemed.
Yeah. Yeah. She's so good at handling things in the moment. But yeah, she was shook. And then Chris doesn't help because he's like, "Ah!" And she's like, "Oh my, calm." She's like, "I just had a lot coming at me. Can you just calm, please?"
And it's like, I guess it's hard for Misha to understand everybody else's perspective because she's been in power for a majority of the time that they've been in the house. So she doesn't really get what it's like to want to feel secure in the game. And so I didn't personally appreciate when Misha was like, well, week 1, you told me, or like, the first, my first head of household, you told me that you just wanted to not be the first person out. And it's like,
And I honored that.
and you honored that? So
No.
thank you.
Oh, thank you. So I owe you
you.
the rest of my game because I wasn't the first person out. No.
So that just irritated me though. Like that was like her response, and I was like, I'd have been irritated if I was Shayna hearing that.
Yeah.
Be like, I don't owe you everything. It's kind of like she feels like everybody needs to give them their game because like she didn't evict them on her head of households. It's like,
yeah,
no, babe.
no.
Had power
I
for too
agree
long.
that would irk me for sure. So yes, Todd has fallen off of the wall. We are left with Todrick, Carson, and Shayna, you guys.
Todrick's gonna win it though. You know that's what's gonna happen. You know it.
Look, I predicted for any endurance, it would be Todrick v. Shayna. I think those are the two best. I'm surprised Carson's still in it. The only thing that I question is Todrick's booty.
That's
like
true.
Usually people with booty do struggle on the wall.
This is true.
But I can't tell. I mean, he's bending over and stuff, but like I really can't tell if
this is true. Maybe he'll make a deal. Because he's a little sly like that. He knows that Carson would keep that deal. Shayna might not, but Carson would.
That's true. So yeah, I don't know. This is a good little final 3 here on the wall. I'm interested to see.
It's the best final 3 that there could be.
Yeah. Todd definitely lasted way longer than I thought. Put it in the universe, Amy. Put it in. Okay, so we're going to have a segment here where Julie's going to tell the house guests about news on the outside, which went way longer than it needed to.
I was like, what competition is this? Like, I was so confused when it was going, like, starting, and she's like explaining the rules and 2 truths and a lie. And I'm like, wait, is this a what? Yeah. Oh, it's just to give the facts that's going on in the outside.
Does someone win any power out of this? Who's getting voted off out of this? But Lamar's excitement gave us fish. He was more excited about the Super Bowl than anything we have seen this entire time. So excited we got fish.
Yeah, I mean, you live in the States, so you're a Super Bowl person?
I'm a Super Bowl person. No, my team didn't make it to the playoffs.
You have a team. Okay.
Yes. Okay, Carson. Carson says football, you say. Chantel's like, football. What is this sports ball that we're talking about?
Like I'm in Canada, so I've never, like, I don't understand American football rules because they're different. We do have football, but similar but different. And I used to host like Bud Bus, so Budweiser, you'd get be like a Bud girl, and like you'd like take a group of like 20 guys on like a bus, and we go to like Buffalo, and we go and watch a game. But I was always like entertaining, so my back was always to the football game, and so I don't think I've ever really seen a football game.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, I do watch like the playoffs, even though I don't have a team in them. It's very exciting to, be like, oh, this team is so cool. Like whatever. I get excited. But the Super Bowl is in Los Angeles this year. It's in my town.
That's fun.
So, and then our team, even though we just got this team like 5 years ago, it's not really our team, but a lot of people claimed them immediately.
Who's
the LA Rams?
Oh, okay. So like I felt like I'd never heard of that before, but
yeah, I think they were like the St. Louis Rams, maybe, or something forever, right? And then they decided to move to LA, which everyone should move to LA. The weather's beautiful. But so I should be technically rooting for the LA Rams this week and excited because it's here.
Okay, that's a little bit more fun. It's like I don't really care about basketball, but when like we were gonna win, like that was pretty fun. Those last few games were like super. It was really community building, and like the parade that happened after was insane. I don't know if you ever saw that on TV, but it was like the whole downtown Toronto was completely flooded with people, and it was quite wow. So I can get it when we get to this level, like it's entertaining, but like I don't keep up with it at all.
Yeah, I don't keep up with it either, just here at the end. But it was fun the way that she did like give those were the 4 teams that went to those like final playoffs, and then 2 of them won to go to the Super Bowl. And he chose LA Rams just because he's LA, but he said the Kansas City Chiefs, which should have gone, like they were the team to beat, and they were beat by the Cincinnati Bengals. So it was kind of like whoa, those teams are in the Super Bowl. I get it, but they got like really excited. They cussed. It was this conversation was more exciting than that segment though. So, oh no!
No, don't make me sick. Don't make me sick. Don't make me sick.
It is now between Todrick and Carson.
Oh,
Shayna has fallen.
Oh my God. Carson can do it. Carson, like channel it. Get it
channel
done.
It, Carson. You are in trouble if you do
get
not
it. You will possibly win the game. Like this is his game-winning head of household because he will more likely go out this time around. I mean, we still have the veto and all that stuff. I know that, but
this is
Carson's
like
skinny. He's lighter, I'd say, than Todrick is. So potentially, that wiry kind of frame, he might be able to hold on a little bit longer.
He just needs those.
Todrick's biceps. A little bit bulkier.
Just has to have those arm muscles.
I don't know. I can take this. This is intense.
I mean, I think Carson will put up Todrick and Misha, don't you think? Or would he just put up Misha?
Well, who would you put up Misha with? Todd? Maybe with Todd, just maybe to save Todd. Face, and then maybe backdoor Todrick.
Yeah. But Todrick said he wouldn't be able to nominate Carson. He said that like first week.
He'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, like this is something I had to do. Like you're coming from my number one, I have to do this. I'm like,
yeah, but I feel like at this point he would put up Carson. I don't think
who else is gonna put up.
Yeah, he's not gonna put Lamar and Todd up.
I mean, that would be.
They're perfect. Kind of technically his numbers.
So, or maybe he'll be, or maybe he'll be mad at Shayna for that move and keeping Carson. So maybe she'll put up Shayna and Carson.
All right, I'm like completely blanking that Shayna could be nominated. I'm like, who else is there? Lamar and Todd? What? Yeah.
No, Shayna, I think Shayna would be up there before Synthia.
Shayna, of course. Yeah, that's exactly. He might not put Carson up, and Carson might not put Todrick up just because of their outside of the house history.
Now, do you think that right now Todrick is making a deal with Carson that he's going to go back on?
I think he might, but he's not doing it yet. Like his head is like very much away. But don't you feel like Todrick would try to make a deal?
Yes.
I do. Yeah.
And he'd go back on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but
God,
Todrick
I'm just sick to my stomach right now.
Todrick just might be like, I'm going to fall. Like, am I safe? Like he might try to do that. I don't know. I mean, all right.
Yeah, we can speculate forever.
They're not even facing each other. They're both leaning away, focusing, both of them. Okay. They're going to show us the Todd and Synthia fight.
Part of it.
Well, a very edited version of Todd and Synthia.
I was happy that they showed something because I thought that they were just going to completely not show anything, especially for the fact that most of the fight was not on the audio was on, but we didn't actually get to see any video of the fight or the yelling and the swearing part of it. So
yeah,
I didn't expect them to show at least this much. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting that this is starting because he's still mad at Synthia for voting him out week 1. when he was not like he was nominated very last minute by the purse. Let us not forget. Synthia had days to promise Teddy her vote.
Mm-hmm.
That's shocking that you would hold a grudge like that when you were just put on the block and didn't have a conversation.
I didn't want to not like him, but now like I'm not a fan. I'm like
tough.
I didn't like his response. Even Lamar was like, that's still bothering you? Like he was even floored. Lamar was floored that you're still bothered by the fact that you stayed and somebody that you're tight with now voted you out because she had given her word to her friend in the game. Like it was so irrational. And then we didn't see a lot of the fight where he was really getting quite aggressive, I would say, in a way that I would never want any man to be talking to a woman to, especially on television. Like all of it was all over bad. But then to like not to be saying like, oh my God, don't scare me.
Nothing yet. I'm just reading body language. Just reading body language. One, Carson is very still and Todrick is very movie.
Todrick's movie?
Like, yeah, he keeps adjusting. Like,
okay, good. So maybe his butt's gonna knock him off the wall. No, but when Todd was like, well, what am I supposed to do if someone like rolls up on me? Like you're not supposed to react like that. Like you're like, what do you mean? She like from what I saw Synthia do, she didn't do anything that I think would warrant her like neck getting slit if they're on the streets. Like what? Like.
Yeah, obviously that's not going to make the edit when he's like threatening her on the street. Like that didn't make the edit. Okay, wait a minute. Someone's feeds might be slightly ahead of mine. Stand by while I watch. Someone looks like they're slipping. I know we're not supposed to be silent on a live stream, but this is Todrick has fallen. Todrick has fallen.
No!
Carson is HOH.
Carson! Oh, Carson! Oh my God! I'm sorry if that blew anybody's eardrums. That might have been loud. I'm sorry. Oh my God! I almost want to cry.
In shock right now. Right? It's almost emotional. I can't believe Carson just won the wall comp. And honestly, it's been an hour.
Yeah, that's like decent time.
Yeah, that's way longer than I thought they'd be hanging on.
I thought that.
Oh, he just did a ta-da! Yay!
Yes, like no matter what, even if he doesn't win the game at this point now, like I think that he just needed this, like so we didn't have just like Misha and Todrick just running the whole game, like just a little bit of opposition, just a little bit of a break. Like I want to see Synthia and Carson and Shayna all being safe and everybody else having a bit of a scurry. And this and Kirkpatrick will feel vindicated with like this choice. Like at least it shook things up. At least everything was a little bit different now. Honestly, I was like sending every single ounce of like energy towards Carson winning. I think everybody watching was like, Carson, we're giving you like the energy of the universe here.
Yeah, the whole fandom was like, Carson. I mean, we started this week being like, protect Carson at all costs. Like he cannot go. And here we are with him in the house and HOH. That's really, really incredible. I don't know how he'll end up doing nominations. I know Misha will be one of them. But, she could win veto, but he can win veto. I mean, hello, Carson wins comps.
It's true. But the only thing that sucks is that Misha might not go out just because the votes, like if she's up against anybody other than Todrick, like I think that she might stay. You know what I mean?
You kind of have to get out either Misha or Todrick.
Yeah.
You cannot accidentally let this become a Todd or a Lamar.
So I don't even know how, because they won't have they would have the numbers with 2 and then 1. So yeah, okay, I think it's gonna be okay. But
I mean, this whole week Lamar was more with Carson and them than Misha and Todrick.
Because he doesn't like Misha.
He doesn't like Misha, and he's kind of like getting over Todrick. He's, so I think you have the numbers with Lamar.
Right. So that'll be 3 right there.
Yeah, it's just Todd that you don't.
And if it would be a tie, then Carson breaks the tie. So
yeah,
that's not too bad.
We'll see. We will see how it plays out, but congratulations, Carson.
Carson so deserved. If he knew how much like heat he had on him, like he doesn't even realize how dangerous of a position that he's been in this whole game so far.
Wait, this is funny to me, William. You think if Todrick had won, that would have blown up his game? I think his game blew up about 7 days ago-ish, or
I mean, I think it's
more.
At this point, they know that he's they're not with him, really.
Yeah.
They're playing on different sides. They know that, but they still have respect for each other.
They think they might be able to get him back, but like they're fully aware of the game that Todrick is playing.
Well, they're gonna have to be like, here, you're gonna have to trust us. Like, you're gonna have to go up as a pawn next to Misha because you're a vote for her to stay, and if you win the veto, you'd take her off, and we can't have that. So sorry.
All right. So yeah, the Todd and Cynthia thing wasn't cute. I do feel like I wish Cynthia hadn't circled back. We see her walk away and then circle back. I wish that Cynthia hadn't circled back. But I also, Todd, just don't circle the table and get up in her face and say the F word over and over again. Like that was when it was like, ugh. And then Lamar's instigating. He's like clapping and Carson's like, where's the spatula? I've got to rescue my girl Cynthia. It was a lot.
Definitely appreciated Carson, standing up for her. Like, because it was. Like, if maybe outside of the house, maybe he wouldn't have, because like how Todd was acting seemed a little bit unhinged and dangerous, so the fact that he went up and was like, no, that's not what she said, no, this is what she actually said, and no, she wasn't doing this, like I really appreciate that he was willing to go toe-to-toe with Todd and wasn't scared of him. I was very happy about that.
Yeah, that's that Sagittarius
moon.
Friend.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Gotta protect your girl.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the votes here. We've got Chris Kirkpatrick sitting next to Cynthia, and we knew how these votes were going to fall. It was unanimously voting Chris out at this point, and Chris was hoping to get a sympathy vote from Shayna, but Shayna went with the house. She had to. So.
Yeah, I don't think that, just in case, they were building up a couple people like, ooh, well, Cynthia might do Shayna might do a sympathy vote. Like, maybe we can count on that and then have 2 other people vote, and like, it could mess things up. So she kind of has to just say goodbye.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kirk.
And I mean, honestly, I hate that Shayna loses the number from having Chris in the house, but I appreciate the move that they tried. So thank you for that.
Chris wouldn't have won head of household. So
that's true. That's
one of the reasons why she was rathering having Carson is that he's a little bit better at competitions. And now he's proving that is definitely true.
Apparently, I would have argued that point, but she is correct. Now, his interview with Julie was sweet, lovely, whatever, until we got to Todrick's goodbye message.
I heard that like it was even worse than what they showed, and that he wasn't willing to change it.
Yeah.
So they edited it to make it look decent.
I mean, it wasn't as awful as he made it sound when he was talking about it on the feeds, but he definitely had attitude as if he had the high ground, when he was lying, and in fact, you do not have the high ground. That's where I got confused. Is don't come at me with sass when I'm about to leave the house and will learn that you are full of it and you are lying to me. Why will I then vote for you?
Whoop, there it is. Like, I like, excuse me? Like, what? I didn't understand what was the reason behind. Now he has two people for sure that are completely against him. Teddy is like already like, he's the worst. Don't vote for him.
Yeah.
And now Kirkpatrick's going to go see this and then get more ammunition probably from Teddy. Like, just losing votes left, right, and center.
Uh-oh. Chat saying that online is saying there might have been a deal.
He's going to have to go up as a pawn. It's just the thing, babe. Like,
he might not go up as an original nom, but I think that that's the truth anyway, because of their previous, their drag race connection. I don't think Carson wants to nominate Todrick for those optics. But if someone comes down, I think Todrick goes up. I don't know.
But the problem is, though, Misha next to like Todd. I mean, I guess it's still the 2-2 thing. So
I don't know. Yeah, we will see. Yeah, I think that this is a really poor move on Todrick. Todrick should know better. Todrick should understand jury management and the importance of goodbye messages, especially in the celebrity season when they're not sequestered.
Mm-hmm. This is what ruined Daniel Reyes's game. That's why they started sequestering people, was for the fact that you can go back and feel a type of way what people have been saying about you in the diary room. And so when you see how Todrick has been, like, it's not going to bode well with that goodbye message. Like, no salvaging that.
No, this is. I mean, I feel like that was the moment that Todrick lost the game. I feel like if he makes it to final 2, he's not getting the votes. And that's on him, I think.
Well, he couldn't really get it next to anyone, but I think that
I think if he and Misha were able to make it to final 2.
I don't know who at that point.
Mm-hmm. Then, yeah, you've got, like, people are mad at Misha. People don't like Todrick. Like, where do the votes fall? But I think he's just working very hard to not get the votes right now.
I'm not sure what game he's playing. I was watching Hannah. She was talking with Robin Taryn, and she's like, I'm rooting for my friend, but not necessarily playing a great game. So even Chada has been kind of calling out that he hasn't been playing the best game, but she's obviously going to still support him.
And that's exactly, same thing. Chantele, if you were playing, I'd be like, that's my girl. I'm rooting for her, but oh my God, why'd she do that? That was really a bad move, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you would never do that.
I wouldn't do not a Todrick game. No way. Maybe a Shayna game. But like Todrick, no.
That I will root for. That's it. Well, that was the end of the show, because then they started the HOH comp, which we have already seen how that ended up. So yay. Will be very interesting to see what Carson ends up doing.
And the groveling.
This.
I want to see the groveling. I want to see Misha being like, put up Todd and Lamar. And he's going to be like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Put up Shayna. She's shady.
Shayna just saved him. So, no.
Put up Synthia.
Okay.
No. Okay. Like, it's kind of like there's not that many choices. So.
There aren't. I mean, they're down to 8 people, but like when you're working with a few of them.
8 or 7? 8?
Oh, I guess. Yeah, isn't it 8? Didn't I just count?
Maybe I'm completely wrong. Todd,
4, 5, 6.
Todrick.
No, 7. You're right. 7. Yeah. There were 8 before Chris left. There were 8 a couple hours ago. Yeah, 7. But we're halfway through the game, even though we really only have I guess we have 10 days. Like we have a week and a half.
Wow, it goes so
next
fast.
Wednesday. It does. It is a insane schedule, as we know, because we are trying to cover it.
I know. I'm just like, oh, you want to come on? Okay, we'll talk. Okay, let's go.
Hence, we're here on a Friday night, and this is what we're doing on a Friday night. Yeah, party!
I mean, we got the outcome that we wanted for this one, so
that's right.
Good.
That's right. So over the weekend, obviously, we'll find out who his noms are and how some. Well, I guess not. So like this past Monday, we had it all on Monday, the whole veto thing. So I assume this Monday coming up, it'll be the same thing, live veto.
Yeah, I think I heard Julie say live veto. I don't remember if she said Monday. I'm assuming it would be Monday, But
right,
yes, I
because
do
there's an
think so.
episode Sunday and an episode Monday. So Sunday we'll get the end of this
Noms,
HOH. We'll
yeah.
see the noms, and then Monday hopefully we'll see the veto play out live. I really enjoy that format. That's a lot of fun. And then someone's leaving on
I
Monday.
also think that they heard us when we said, can you give us a little bit of the head of household competition after the 2 hours that we spent on the show? And so I'm happy that they gave us at least the beginning of it.
Yeah,
Obviously, we're going to watch it on the feeds if we can. So that's different. But like, I'm happy that like we got to see them start it off with the episode.
absolutely. I mean, a 2-hour episode on a Friday, you can give us an HOH. Come on. Come on. Yeah.
10 minutes.
Well, you guys in the chat, thank you so much for joining us on your Friday night as well. And if you are joining us later, please leave a comment. Let us know how you feel about the new HOH and how you feel about Chris getting evicted, how that whole thing went down. He backdoored himself, apparently.
I mean, he gets a stat, right? I think he
Yep.
might be the only person that really
Got-
did that intentionally, like
himself.
almost intentionally.
Almost. He didn't really want to, but like, yeah, basically was up for it. And I will be back on Monday night with David to recap the Sunday and Monday episodes. Chantele, what are you covering this weekend? Where can people find you?
What are we doing? So tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, I'll be with Chris from the Nullified Take and Drew from the Angel Cake Entertainment channel, and we will be defending unpopular opinions of the challenge stars. So anybody that I dislike or gameplays that I'm not into, I will be championing for them. And so kind of going against our initial instincts, having a bit of a debate on opinions that are polarizing and the opposite of what I actually believe to be true. So it's really fun. This is round 2. So we did an episode last week and it was a big hit. And so we're continuing it on this week with some of the ones that we never got to. So that will be fun. On Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, I'll also be talking with Ron, and we'll be going through the second 3 episodes of Australian Survivor. So I can't wait to talk to him about that because this week was pretty fun.
That reminds me, yes. So Chantele recaps them on Sunday, but together we watch Survivor Australia on Monday and Tuesdays over on my Twitch channel. So join us if you want to watch along. We have a lot of fun doing that. This is a very exciting season.
So fun.
Books and Quirks, thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate that. And everybody, have a wonderful evening. We'll see you next time.
Ciao. Bye.